Okay, what's poppin'? Just pulled up again. Gonna give you guys some content. I'm just zooming out so I can show you the weekly template. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All more or less in the same line. Then we've got a move up. Oopsie daisy. $288 pips, cool. So I'm assuming there's no movement really after that move. That is a big move for GJ. Usually we see like 60, 80, maybe even 100, 120 trending environments, but not 288. So for me, I would say, alright, cool. Price shouldn't really move. Again, and if it does move, it's gonna move just a little bit, and then just, like some manipulation, pretend to go up, pretend to go down, and not really go anywhere at all. And then maybe between 6 p.m. London time and 10, do some mad distribution. But let's see what happened. Okay. So it looks like it took out the highs during Asia. Okay, YHOD. Liquidity taken out YHOD. Yesterday's higher day during Asia. Boom, boom. And then it's continued. Let's see where my entry is. No, I didn't see an entry, hence why I didn't trade. A tad annoying with this one because, to be honest, now that I look at it with hindsight, yeah, 8:35 entry before we get the big move. Didn't really like it, to be honest, because we've got this higher time frame FEG right here, and we have this one here, as well as price only 3 pips on the first FEG, and then 6.4 from yesterday's close. So when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this price, oopsie daisy, I'm thinking price can easily retrace. So in situations like this, if you are unsure, obviously this is the algorithmic entry, just split your money in two. So if you got £100, put £50 on it, and then put the next 50 down if it were to lose. That way you're getting in both entries. You could even scale in, so enter the first one, and you would have seen second entry at 8:55. Then you still would have actually got loads of profit, to be honest. I'd also say, if, say for example, you're in a lot of profit for the week, like we were in profit this week, so if you had, let's say for example, you were up £100 and then you only needed £20 to pay for something, you most probably would have just got into the trade because you've already got more than enough. Do you know what I mean? You could afford risking or losing a trade or what have you. I think, so for this week, Yeah, I think so my students, for example, my newest student, well, I can't say my newest student anymore, I've just onboarded a new student. So the one prior to, he's been in profit for the last 4 weeks. So yeah, he's my testimony to it. Yeah, we've been in profit, we've been doing all right. It's been hard times with the Trump tariffs, keeping price moving sideways, consolidating. Hence why I said or asked you to take note at the weekly profile. So when I say weekly profile, I mean from Monday to Friday, how prices moved. You can see prices moved more or less sideways and then moved on a Thursday and then gave a slight quarter retracement. It's probably like 0.32 on the Fibonacci levels, like before, whoopsie daisy, crashing down and giving some distribution to the sell side. It's a decent amount, to be honest. I mean, if you caught it and you rode the whole wave, you would have been nice. I do teach to do it, like ride the whole wave, but I just don't advise it during these times of trading, because these times of trading, price is more or less moving sideways, so it's quite techy catching them. You'd have to be really well versed with your economics, like your fundamentals would be key, because the distribution will more or less come from any announcement. Do you know what I mean? Any reason for price to move. Other than that, price won't move or shouldn't move, or is less likely to move. And these are the times that we're in now, to be honest. Which, to be fair, again, I don't really mind it, because we're still profitable up in this. But at the same time, we could be even more profitable. I remember maybe this time 2 years ago, I was still doing 1 to 3s. And even then, I could have pushed it up to 6s, especially with my dynamic risk as well. But yeah, that's why, for example, I remember when I worked, it's good to always purchase a house when you are having a good year, or good like 4 or 6 months, because your financials will be good. You'll be able to pull out more, or like loan more. Yeah, because most of the time when you're self-employed, when you're a freelancer, contractor, subcontractor, sole trader, when you like make money for yourself, your money is seasonal, so it goes up and down. So the way the loaning structure works is kind of unfair in regards to, at any present time you make an application, that's when you're judged on, or the criteria is put against you, as opposed to potential. Obviously, I understand where that's risky, but it needs to be a tad more dynamic, like our stop loss plugin, because like people who are self-employed, sole traders, etc., make monies during certain times and then don't make as much money during other times. For example, if you were to have a business surrounding, like a fun fair business, you would have a lot of business during the summer and less business during the winter. So with that scenario, it would be best for somebody who has a funfair business to make any applications just after summer, like during or just after, depending on how quickly the cash flow comes in the beginning. Because then your numbers will be higher and you'll be able to, well, you'll be putting your best foot forward, innit? That's what it's really about. And like making a difference between of like maybe £100 on a finance vehicle. Let's say it's £300, but now you've got it down to £200. Yeah, man, it works. So like, the more money you have, the more discount you get. The less money you have, the more you gotta pay. That's the way the system is. So. Regardless, I hope all is well. The weather's been decent in London up till now. I mean, in the evening, the sun's coming down. Daylight hours are still here, but it's just not bright, which is fine. I'm so happy with that. Yeah, contact me on Instagram if you do not understand any of the concepts that I have discussed in this video. My students, it is imperative that you message me. Obviously, if you don't message me, then I know that you haven't watched the video. So, yeah, holla. At the end of the day, all I'm doing is speeding up your learning curve. If you don't contact me or if you don't let me know what you're not understanding, then it's just going to slow down the time it takes for you to make this money or to become good at trading independently. Whatever your goal is, do you know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for your time.